There is a saying in the East that acquiring skill is like eating rice with chopsticks. You need patience and perseverance. Who invented these? The real genius is the person who invented Dragon Boat. We are constantly bombarded with instructions on how to do things better. It is good when you get measures to quantify how good the advice is. I once saw a paddler produce 345 watts of peak power and averaged 275 watts, which I thought was phenomenal. On the second trial, the same paddler produced 575 watts of peak power and averaged 447 watts, which I thought was impossible. On a third occasion, several weeks later, I was able to observe the same paddler and get video footage and record the force produced per stroke, which allowed me to analyze this paddler's biomechanics and develop a plan to improve and become a faster paddler. For good analysis, when analyzing biomechanics, it's good to look at it from the side, the front, and from the top, and then compare how the force curve changes with those biomechanics. From analyzing this paddler, I identified several areas to focus on. These included the actions of the bottom hand at the catch and the actions of the top arm later on in the stroke. Lastly, I considered all the muscles involved in producing the force on the paddle. Furthermore, I considered the torque about the z-axis and considered all the muscles involved in producing that torque. In this kayak study, we look at a few muscles and see how it influences the force produced. We see the vastus lateralis activating early in the stroke, followed by the triceps activating in the top arm, providing a pushing force, then followed by the latissimus dorsi in the bottom arm. However, we need to know all the muscles involved in producing the force, including up to the force peak, and then all the muscles contributing to produce force even after the force peak. I won't give away the answers here, but as an idea as to how I was thinking and the areas that were identified that needed to be worked on, I considered the study by Ho in 2013. She found that arm girth correlated with 200-meter performance and 500-meter performance, but everyone tells you not to use the small muscles but to use the big ones. Well, if you try it on an erg and you just use the big muscles, you'll find that you produce less power, but you can paddle for longer. So the question is, do you want to be the freshest at the finish or the fastest at the finish? In which case, you need to consider all the muscles, including the small muscles. As another clue, I modified this exercise to improve torque about the z-axis. And of course, I wanted to quantify if there was any improvement. And what I found was that my peak power improved from about 270 watts to 342 watts. You could say I was elated. And when tested over my favorite benchmark distance, which was achieved in 63 seconds originally, I now produced a new record of 53 seconds. You could say I was really elated.